Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Future Podcast. Today is episode 30.
30.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching today's episode. It's been a little while since we recorded, so right off the bat, you might notice I no longer have hair. So that was a random decision I decided to make, but get that obvious thing out the way. But like we said, this episode was going to be kind of like a milestone, kind of a little different than everything else we've been doing lately.
Yeah, try something different.
Yeah, why not? We're just going to go over some stuff, some random things, kind of give y'all a better idea of who we are, a few different genres of topics to see what y'all like the most from us. We've been looking at all the old videos, trying to see what we can do to kind of just see see what y'all want us to talk about. Don't feel afraid that you can't comment on any of these videos. We're always wanting to see what y'all want to talk about because it gives us a chance to build a big old family of people that want to talk about superheroes, movies in general, songs, anything like that.
Anything. We may not talk about it very well, may not be very well informed, but we're going to give it our best shot, make it as fun and entertaining as possible.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just getting people to get their voices out there, their opinions out, because your opinion does matter. You know, your voice needs to be heard, and
exactly.
Nobody's opinions are per se wrong when it comes to things like this. This is just what you feel, who you are, what you like, and you know, sometimes being open-minded helps. Find new things. Sometimes stay in your lane. I get that. You know, I do that from time to time, but you know, it's nice. It's nice when people. We do appreciate the comments we get, the subscribers we've got, the support we've had.
It is pretty nice.
But I'd like to see a little bit more interaction. We'd like to see what y'all think wholeheartedly about it. What you would really, really, really want to see.
If there's a specific thing you want us to break down more, like you said, we're not the very best, but hey, we're all living life for the first time, so why not? If y'all notice, like, we see the music video, y'all really like that one, so we might start leaning a little bit more towards that.
Yeah.
So just let us know what you want us to talk about, because we're here as much as you are, so we're all here for the same experience.
And we like to babble more than most. So.
Oh yeah, we talk a lot. You think we talk a lot on camera?
Yeah.
Like we say, we talk a lot.
We are at your disposal.
Exactly. I guess the first category I really set aside when I was taking my notes was just some sports overall. We talked about it a couple of times. We have mentioned WWE quite a good amount, so I put that first on the list. Growing up, both of us watched a lot. I mean, I only had WWE growing up with my age frame, but you got a little bit more. You were more spoiled, I think, than me.
I was definitely in the, I won't say golden era because that describes a typical era in the WWE, but I was what they call the Attitude Era. I was in the golden age of wrestling, really, because
where it was good,
the Monday Night Wars between WCW and the WWF, WWE at the time, they changed midway through the Monday Night Wars, and to be able to see all of these top stars on both brands, you had all the entertainment in the world as a wrestling fan. We're getting that again today with AEW kind of making a presence. I know there's a lot of people that scoff at AEW. It's another form of entertainment. You're supposed to enjoy this, right? It's supposed to be what you love to watch. Then why wouldn't you want to watch more of it? Just because it doesn't have your people, that doesn't make it bad. That just makes it different. And different is good in many ways. But I was very spoiled with it. You know, I got to see guys like Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, Kane, The Rock. I got to see all those guys cut their teeth in the business as a wrestling fan and watch them slowly progress into the biggest megastars ever. You know, when I started watching, it was still the golden era with Hulk Hogan and Roddy Piper and Ric Flair and Dusty Rhodes.
But then what it led into.
But what it became, you know.
The whole Attitude Era itself. I mean, Rob Van Dam, CM Punk, eventually coming in after that. But there was people who were trying to push the limits.
Yeah.
It's like, obviously, let's wrestle the same in the ring, but let's have fun with it, build it on a new level, and just grow. Like,
Shawn Michaels is probably one of the most infamous people to credit for that.
Oh, yeah.
Because of DX, the whole click thing, you know, it was edgy as it was, and then he was just in the ear of Vince McMahon, like, nope. If you want to get the fans invested, you need to get away from all this goofy stuff you've been doing with the clowns and the this and the that and the race car drivers. And you need to go to more reality-based. You can have a catchy name, but at the end of the day, it's a fight between two grown men.
Let's make it interesting.
Why is there a guy dressed as a trash man fighting a guy dressed as a clown? So what is the backstory to that? Trash guys hate clowns? Like it
Doesn't make sense at a certain point.
was unrealistic.
It doesn't help it when people are like, wrestling's fake, when it's predetermined, but it's not fake. For anybody who has any idea what the sport is, you take those bumps.
It takes lives. I mean, it takes years off your life.
Yeah, it does.
I know from experience. I have friends that I know from experience what it does to you mentally and physically.
Yeah.
It's predetermined. Yes, they know who's supposed to win. Okay, and they tell you, we kind of want you to do a couple of these cool moves.
Mm-hmm.
But to anybody who thinks that it's absolutely fake, please go out there and do it one time. Take one bump in the middle of that ring.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to be anything hardcore.
No.
Just take a bump, solid back bump in the center of that ring. And if you don't know how you're doing it,
You'll feel it.
it is going to hurt your entire body.
Yeah.
It is an art form. Okay? It's just to me it's disrespectful at one point, whether I'm a fan or not.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's just how you can just totally shit on somebody's livelihood, their passion, their artwork,
Just because you think.
just because you think it's phony. And it's like, okay, then just don't watch it.
Yeah.
Or be open-minded and try to watch it and try to see
Exactly.
the dramatic side of it, the theatrical side of it, which has gotten better over the years. You know, it used to be really corny. I get that.
But compared to what it is now, and I've seen some stuff. I've been, like I've said recently, I've been getting back into it. It almost feels like we're finally getting that back.
We are.
With WWE now on Netflix and combining with TNA and all the awesome crossovers that we're getting. It's almost like the ECW days and everything like that. So it's like, I feel maybe hopefully soon AEW will make it to where it's all one, but I don't see that happening. It's one of those wish things where it's like we can finally see some of the matches we never thought we'd get to see.
Only way that's going to happen is if they buy him out.
And
In which
who knows
case,
what he would charge WWE for that? $5 billion probably.
he's going to try.
Because, I mean, look what it took George Lucas to throw away Star Wars. It's like, what do you think? So it's everybody
money?
has high expectations when they own a company that everybody wants to have.
What's your dollar amount?
Yeah.
You know, everybody, as the great $1 Million Man would say, everybody's got a price.
Yes. But, I mean, it's just nice to see that. I'm actually interested, we haven't got to talk about it yet, but the heel turn of John Cena took 25 years in the making?
About 25 years or so. Well, I'd say 22 years, I think it is.
Exactly. Yeah, I think it's exactly 22, but it's just...
I thought it was great.
I thought it was perfect timing. The way it's executed with The Rock turning on Cody again, but this time using somebody we didn't think he would use.
Yeah.
And to see John Cena come back out and roast the kid that was sitting there too. It's like, that's me. That he's proven that he can play a heel. It was awesome to see Cody come out there and call him a whiny bitch.
Yeah.
We're getting talk. They're talking shit again. They're putting on a real story again.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
well, it is much more believable too to hear two grown men cuss at each other just a little bit.
yeah. Not every other word.
It doesn't have to be every other word, and you don't have to drop an F-bomb. But let's be honest: if there are two grown men with that much testosterone flowing through their bodies and they're angry, a cuss word's going to come out. I'm going to beat you up in the ring later, buddy.
Like, you whiny baby. It's like, that would have been... If he said that, that would have been terrible.
The crowd might have even been like, "Ooh, you left that one hanging."
Yeah, no, that would have been bad, but it's awesome to see all this. I forgot who the interview was, but somebody was interviewing AJ Styles, and he asked if he would go back to TNA to do one more match just because.
Yeah.
And AJ Styles said he would. So it would be kind of funny to see him go back to his roots where he really made his name.
Yeah, because
after
it is.
so many years.
Mm-hmm. Well, and to me, it's nice to see TNA making a resurgence as well as it has over the last couple of years.
They did so much from really my childhood. It was a lot of that happened. We see AJ Styles get built up, Samoa Joe.
See, y'all growing up, my boys, they got TNA when it first started out for the most part. It might have started a couple years earlier, but it's basically what WCW was because it was pretty much the same people running it, except for Jeff Jarrett put all his money in there and he kind of owned it for a hot minute. But yeah, they would get all the old WWE stars that nobody wanted anymore, make them the main event. But you had this core of guys in the X division: Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, Kazarian. Go on and on. I could go on and on.
Eventually Kurt Angle.
It was one of the only reasons people watched TNA for a long time was because of the X division. much like WCW.
Mm-hmm.
Half the reason people even tuned in was the Cruiserweight division to watch Rey Mysterio, Eddie
Oh
Guerrero,
my,
Jericho, Dean Malenko, Psychosis,
some crazy matches.
and insanely entertaining. And there's wrestlers today that when they're training, they still reference old WCW Cruiserweight matches
Mm-hmm.
because of how perfect and flawless and entertaining they were.
Yeah.
And AJ Styles being the revolutionary in that X division,
He
and
took some risk. There were
he
some
did,
times
but with great risk usually comes great reward.
if you do it right, if you're as phenomenal as he is,
He is
he did it pretty
phenomenal.
well.
Yeah, TNA, they did good. It's nice to see them getting back.
I just thought about one that you remember Lucha Underground.
I do remember
I always
Lucha
forget about that
Underground.
one from time to time, and then I'll see a clip come up on either Instagram or TikTok, and I'm always like, oh yeah, I forgot about that little era where we had. They did some crazy matches, man.
It was interesting because the matches themselves,
They were
phenomenal,
crazy.
entertaining. Every match, bell to bell, was pretty much
Came out of
solid
nowhere, though.
entertainment. But it
Feels
was so
like.
strange. The rest of the program, it was like a Mexican soap opera.
Mm-hmm.
The way they would film it and the way they would act it out. So it was really different from what most wrestling fans were used
It
to.
stood on its own. I think that's why it didn't last as long.
Yes.
Is because it came out of the gate so hot and heavy. Everybody loved the wrestling in it.
Yeah.
But they just wanted something unique, and that's this day and age. It's hard to do something that different and get to where WWE is now. But it.
Nobody's ever going to get that big.
No, I think WWE
I
definitely.
mean, that's like saying you're going to start a new football league, and in 5 years we're going to be bigger than the NFL.
Yeah.
Well, a couple people have tried that.
The XFL, that didn't work out. It's like its
not
third
worked
time
out.
resurfacing.
Yeah. It's like just,
It's hard to
I'm
beat the
glad
top
we
dogs.
have multiple venues to watch something we enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
I, as a wrestling fan, I'll still watch New Japan. I try to keep up with some of the bigger indie promotions.
Yeah.
But to me, I think it's great that I can turn on my TV 4 or 5 days out of the week and have wrestling on.
That's what I saw another interview about that where this guy was saying, I blank on everybody's names, but he says when people are like, I don't like this wrestling, he's like, we're in the day and age where every single day is a different, like you're saying. It's like, if you don't like Raw, go watch SmackDown. You don't like SmackDown, go watch AEW.
Yeah.
If you don't like that, NXT, TNA. Like, we have a handful right now. And and like you said, all the indie scenes, it's like, you can find your clique. If not, realize even if you don't like it, somebody else likes it.
Somebody else likes
Enough people like it to where they're on television, so.
And if you can't like any of that, you just don't
Maybe you're
like
not
it.
a fan.
Yeah.
And if you don't like that, go watch collegiate wrestling. And if you don't like that, then maybe don't watch wrestling.
Maybe suck an egg,
Yeah.
as Dusty Rhodes would say.
Suck an egg. But on the sports category, I also had right under just some of the sports I grew up doing and stuff like that. I mean, in high school, I used to wrestle.
Got to meet Mark Henry.
I did meet Mark Henry one day. I have a picture to prove it one day.
Yep.
Maybe I'll post it. The hair choice that time and frame of my life was not my best one. But YOLO, we only live once.
Yep.
Why not?
Why the hell not?
Wrestling is definitely different in sports in high school and college. I didn't do it in college, but in high school. Collegiate is very different from what he taught me growing up.
Yeah.
But it was like a predetermined study in a way. Grew up roughhousing, so it made me tougher. So when I hit the floor in wrestling, I would get up pretty quick. Coach is like, you okay? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all right. Probably got a few screws loose, but it's okay. I think I'll be all right.
Yeah.
But I will say the craziest thing was some of the incidents you would see, because wrestling is very dangerous. We see it all the time on TV, and that's when it's predetermined. When it's not predetermined, in those colleges, as you watch someone wrestle, some pretty, I would say, gruesome things.
Well,
I've
when
seen
you
a few.
don't know what to expect, it can be
Anything
very
can
catastrophic.
Like, you saw a few of them. There's one where a girl got paralyzed. That one was probably the worst.
Oh
one.
my God, yeah.
That one was bad.
Well, it's one of those you'll have them from behind, or somebody tries to pick you up. Well, you're wiggling trying to get out of it. Well, they're trying to control you, and the next thing you know, you're dropped on your head, your shoulders wrong.
It happens.
And it's like that, and it's
scary.
It's scary.
But
because I can say I never watched any kind of collegiate wrestling live up front in my face until his freshman year in high school. Yeah. When he made varsity, by the way.
I will say I did do that.
And, went to his first meet, watched him kick ass, but at the same time, it was like, ooh. And you've got 1,500, 2,000 parents all in the gymnasium, all making that same sound at the same time, because we're all having to watch him at the mats.
Yeah.
So you're watching all the matches while you're waiting for yours to start, and you're like, oh!
You're like, how many more we got to go through?
Oh, wow.
A lot of matches happen on Saturdays. We had a good saying on the team that on Saturdays you don't see the sun set, you don't see the sunrise or set. You're there until dark.
Yep.
But hey, you build some bonds. I will say my best friend, we've mentioned a couple times, I met him in middle school and then we started wrestling together. You build a brotherhood with people and a sisterhood.
Yeah.
So for any of you in high school that are thinking about wrestling, it's definitely, it's not easy, but
If
it's
you
a
have
once in a
pent
lifetime
up aggression
Sure, go for it. Yeah,
and you need an outlet,
it helped me.
that's going to be one of the things I would recommend. There's something else I'll recommend when I talk about my history here in a minute, but
You also get in really good shape. I will say
Yeah.
I miss being in that good of shape, working out almost 3 times a day. You talk about, I used to be eating machine. I used to eat 5 meals a day. I can't eat that much anymore. If I ate if I like switched diets,
had to pay
like
for
what I ate in
that.
high school now, I think I'd probably throw up. I used to eat so much.
You'd probably throw up more from the grocery bill you'd be spending.
Yeah, that one
I
would,
think that would probably help
compared to now,
the
yeah,
regurgitation
it'd
process.
probably be twice as much. But wrestling was definitely really fun. It's the only thing I did in high school. I gave it my all. It's hard to do wrestling and something else. There was a few of the guys I knew that were in football or baseball, but it lined up perfectly where they could do football and then wrestling. Those are the guys that they just wanted to do sports at all times, stay in shape,
Yeah.
which makes sense. I don't
Ain't
blame
nothing
you.
wrong with that.
I almost thought about doing baseball in high school, growing up playing it. My brother did it in high school. So we already had some mixed feelings about the head coach. And I was like, well, I'm not gonna get a scholarship off of baseball. Is it really worth to
Not playing
stress
for that
that
guy,
much?
you wouldn't have.
No.
We won't go deep into that, but
But I used to enjoy baseball growing up. It was really fun, especially right before the middle school time is when I stopped right around 7th grade, I think.
yeah.
So 6th grade was probably the last time I played, but it was really nice. I used to be a lot shorter, so I played catcher a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Used to be a pitcher back in the day.
Yeah. When you got pissed off, you were a really good pitcher.
Yeah, I used to throw that ball in there. Threw a no-hitter, in 5th grade?
Mm-hmm. Had 2 pitches, fastball, changeup.
That's all you need. You know how to throw, you can throw it anywhere.
Well, that's the 2 pitches. You have to throw exactly the same. You're just holding it differently.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all you need, really. And if you can get it in there.
Yeah. Simplicity. I always say simplicity wins. Always.
Yeah.
Wrestling, that's how wrestling was. Our coach loved, like, he let you go to club during the off season, but during the season when he wrestled with us, he taught us the simple things. And he's like, I'll teach you how to win.
Yeah.
Just use it right.
He's a good coach.
I played football too at one point.
Yep.
Growing up. I did it in middle school. Realized that I like to keep my brain cells through high school. I will just say down here in the South, there's a lot of big boys that play football who like to use their head a lot.
Bunch of corn-fed dudes down here.
Oh, yeah. You gotta be careful with some of them. They're too big.
Well, yeah. They don't know what to do with it other than run you over.
Yeah, and my height, I always wanted to be a quarterback, but I never got the height to really be the quarterback that I wanted to be. And I started a little later than I probably should have, but I realized it wasn't for me. We still appreciate the good football players we got, especially Longhorns this upcoming year. We're very excited about Arch taking us, hopefully, if he can do right, to a championship. We can't complain.
No.
We did good last year. Not the best, but we still did good, I think.
We did good. I would have preferred better, but yeah, we did good.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah.
I will say the Cowboys have been letting us down, though. It's really been putting me down. I haven't really cared. I think a lot of people realize that the NFL is getting more like consumer-based rather than just playing the sport.
Their decisions are based more on that for sure, I feel. I don't think their decisions are made to win championships anymore. I think their decisions are to just make money.
Which is sad to see sports go to that.
It kind of, in my opinion, it happens to all of them at one point.
UFC really got that bad the last couple of years.
Yeah.
More
UFC,
than that, probably.
well, UFC did it bad for a little while there, and then they had the reality show as well. To me, boxing has been that way for such a long time.
Since Mike Tyson, probably.
I can't remember when boxing was real, in my opinion. I know there's a lot of people who are going to get mad at that.
They've worked that one since the start. They would tell you if you win or lose most times. When you look back at like the 50s and 60s, they would tell guys, if you don't lose, we'll kill you. And watching some of these recent matches with that stupid-ass Jake Paul. Oh, yeah.
I mean, you can see that it's rigged every time. Like, you see the guy leaning in with his arm down, like, here's my jaw.
Even if you think it's not rigged, it's pick and choose. He's picking and choosing who he can beat up.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm always up for people trying new things, but if you're just gonna fight a bunch of old retired guys, it's not impressive to me.
No.
Like, fight the active champions. Like, he keeps dodging Ryan Garcia, and like, he used to be really good.
It's not a surprise.
So it's just like, you can like, there's people who are like, I'm an active boxer, I'll fight you.
Yeah.
We'll list whatever price you want. And he's still saying no. So it's obviously, I mean, he's being smart about it. I'll say it's smart what he's doing, getting all the money to set up his family, but it's just annoying that that's what sports have really ultimately come to.
He's still a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I won't say that too loud, but yeah, I just, it to me, it ruins the sport when you have stuff like that. Just like with the whole celebrity boxing and all that stuff they used to do. You're ruining the sport. Like, it's supposed to, sports are supposed to be about integrity, sportsmanship, honor, you know, all this crap. And, you know, even the way the NFL's been recently, with all the people saying that it's, you know, scripted and it's rigged.
Probably.
You know, at first I'm kind of like, well, that'd be kind of hard to do, you know,
you see some of the shit that's happening, you're like,
Exactly. How can you sit there and tell me there's only so many teams that are always going to be that good unless it is meant to be that way?
Like the Chiefs, like we saw in the Super Bowl, it's like, yeah, when you didn't have any refs cheating for you, you lost.
You lost. When the refs sat there and let them play the game. I'm not an Eagles fan, but
it's better than the Chiefs.
Holy hell, I was rooting for them in that game.
Yeah, that's true. But I think NFL is ultimately worse than college football. And I've said it multiple times, but college football, they're proving their name rather than proving they deserve the $500 million that they already gave them.
Yeah.
Which they can't take away from you unless it's in the contract. But in college, you're proving your name to continue your sport after this. And they're young and they're ruthless, so they're going to play. Like when we played Arizona in that playoff game, you could tell we didn't like each other.
No.
They're trying to prove a point. That running back was proving against us he could run, and we were proving we could throw the ball.
Yeah.
It's just, you see so much passion in college sports. Same thing with college wrestling. Those guys, like the NCAA lately, have been some crazy matches going on. Baseball, I would say, too.
Baseball's, you know, college sports don't get enough credit. They don't get enough support. I know the big schools do, but I think that's just because it's cool to do it in that, you know, in that situation.
Especially,
you know, just because you live in the state of Alabama. Well, I got to be a Roll Tide fan. Why?
Yeah.
Do you even religiously watch the games? You know, is it this? Is it that?
Well, no, Alabama, that's all they do is watch football.
And some other things that are probably unsavory, but
yeah, a little bit.
We don't want to talk about that era.
I don't think I've talked about it. I played soccer once growing up. Realized I wanted to play.
Lasted about 3 weeks. I think you didn't want to go back.
No, it wasn't for me. I mean, those dudes got some good cardio, but I really just, my hands, I'm not doing nothing with my arms. I don't feel like, I mean, that's why I give it to rugby players. There's some tough sons of guns that do rugby. I would not do that.
That's a rough sport to watch, man.
That's why you got those crazy Englishmen playing that only. Nobody else, some of them Australians.
Irishmen are good at it because they got them hard-ass heads.
Yeah, all that Guinness they be drinking.
Well, it helps.
But sports, another thing I got in here is just sports movies in general. Those always, I feel like for anybody who grew up doing sports, those always hit home. Like
usually,
we talked about Sandlot, that one always hits home no matter what when I'm watching that one.
Yeah.
Invincible is a good one. Mark Wahlberg's great in that.
I've got that one's kind of grown on me.
The more and more you watch
it. The last couple times, yeah. Because it's Mark Wahlberg, okay? And I love Mark Wahlberg. He usually stays in his lane. He doesn't try to, you know, go out of his comfort zone and try to do something artsy and, you know, he knows. He knows.
He gets it.
But it is still like trying to hear him get rid of a Boston accent and have a Philadelphia accent.
Yeah.
It's just, and there were some moments you're like, nope, there's that Boston thing again.
Still Mark Wahlberg.
But it was a really good movie, though.
I like that one.
Really good movie.
There's a lot.
Rudy.
Greater. That one's really good.
Greater.
That one will make you tear up.
You know, Remember the Titans?
Oh, yeah.
God, that one never gets old for me. Mighty Ducks.
Game Plan with The Rock.
Yeah.
That one's funny. The Rock did a few funny ones when he first started doing movies because they gave him all the crappy kid movies.
Yeah.
But he made some of them work.
Well, there again, man, he was trying to get his name in there and trying to get
Y'all
his
gotta
foot in the
do it.
door of Hollywood, and you gotta do what you gotta do
I mean,
sometimes.
John Cena went through too with Marines, all those other WWE movies they made him do. The
He's
Rock
not
went
out of
through.
the woodworks yet, because he
No.
still, to me, has not made a great movie.
We'll have to see how he does with Peacekeeper
Not
when they
like The
bring him back.
Rock's made a great movie either, but
No,
I
he
think
made Black Adam, so
I
we
still
still can't
think
forgive him.
Batista's better than both of them.
He's done some good ones.
You want to talk about the best wrestler gone to acting?
It's Batista.
Roddy Piper. He was great, and they live. I'm here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum. Late
One
great Roddy
option.
Piper, rest in peace, you sir. But no, I think Batista edged out
I don't know. We
Cena
have
and The
Macho
Rock with
Man and
acting.
Spider Man.
Nowhere.
You got 3 minutes.
Come back here, Spidey freak.
That always gets me. I always forget he's in that scene until I watch the movie most of the
What
time.
do they call him? Ripsaw, hacksaw, something.
It's Hacksaw, I think.
Yeah.
Saw him in half. The
Saw him in
crowd's telling him
half.
to cut him in half. It's such a good movie.
Oh man.
And then obviously UFC's had a few of them go to movies. But
The
it's only
only
been like
one
3.
I think, well,
There's 2 I can think of.
he was in. No, he didn't ever go to the UFC. I'll take that back. He was always a Bellator fighter. A-Team, Rampage Jackson.
Oh yeah.
I forgot. I was about to say UFC, but he never went because he didn't like how they do business. That should tell you something too. One of the best fighters in the world at his body, at his weight, could have made so much more money if he'd have just gone to the UFC. But he knew how the system worked. So if he wasn't Dana's favorite, or if he wasn't going to draw in this money, he wasn't going to get the big fights. He's not going to make more money.
What's the point?
To me, it's just as political as WWE used to be back when McMahon owned it. You know, his favorite guys were always champs. His
You could
favorite
tell
guys.
who.
Oh, you could tell. If you didn't know, then you didn't know the ins and outs of the wrestling business, and you know.
I mean, now it's not as entertaining, I will say.
Nah.
But yeah, Connor he did that one Amazon Prime movie, Roundhouse.
Yeah.
That one, he was funny in that one, playing a bad guy, and then you had
Or
George
Roadhouse.
St. Pierre, Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Roadhouse.
There you go.
And then George St. Pierre, who's in obviously Captain America. He's come back twice. He did it twice, yeah.
Yeah, but I tell
He
you
played
what,
a simple character.
he did really good for what they needed from him.
It's like, just be a badass. Okay.
Like, I thought Conor McGregor in Roadhouse was just over the top, and he was almost annoying.
At the end, near the end is when it really got annoying, because it's like, okay, that's too much of that character.
Yeah.
The beginning, it was kind of like, okay, he's playing an arrogant asshole. He's doing it too perfect because he's probably just being himself. He's just being Conor McGregor, being the Irishman he is.
Yeah.
But yeah, he got near the end is where it really got out of hand. Whenever he died,
Yeah.
it was a bit much.
It was, and it was kind of like, man, you could have gotten anybody else for that.
No, I guess not.
Jason Statham or something.
I want to see his new movie that comes out. Did it just come out, or is it?
The Working Man. I think it just came out.
Yeah, this weekend or last weekend. We've been busy. I will say that.
I can't fight sharks. I'm a working man.
I want to see what he does
be
next.
good. I'm sure it'll be good. It's Jason Statham.
And he's around a construction site. There's so many cool things he could do.
Well, there again, he stays in his lane. You know, he knows.
Oh, he knows his lane.
Like,
it's his own category, Jason Statham.
He's got his own fucking category. He does.
He's got the transporter, the beekeeper, working man.
Megalodon.
1 and 2. He fights him twice. That's how good he is.
Megalodons.
I don't think I got any more sports stories. I think I'm running.
I mean, there's some other ones, but you know, it's those key ones that everybody knows. I mean, you're
growing
gonna have
up,
your
playing baseball, eating hot dogs.
Because the sad thing is, for every great movie, they're gonna make 4 or 5 that copy it and are just trash.
Yeah, Sandlot's the highest example of that.
Yeah, because
3 after him.
Well, you know, they made the movie Rookie of the Year. That one was good. But then, like, literally, then they go and they make the movie Big League or something like that, where the kid inherits a big league team. So instead of him being a player, now he's just the manager on the team.
Yeah.
Would never happen in a million years.
Not possible.
And I get it, it's a movie.
Yeah.
But what kind of false narrative are you teaching your children?
It's so bad. It doesn't make
At the
sense.
age of 12, you too can run a baseball program.
Nope, not at all. But my next category is I got music. Kind of just jotted down random topics. I mean, music. The first one I have is how much music means to people. Um, 99% of people love music. If they don't, I feel bad for them in a way. Music is great.
I don't know anybody that's ever told me straight up, like, I just don't like music.
We probably haven't met any psychopaths,
But yeah,
because
they're probably already locked up somewhere, I'm sure.
so maybe we're lucky. I think we're lucky on that part.
We're safe, people. We're
Everybody
safe.
I've met likes music. It's hard to find somebody with the exact same taste. But there's still those bands everybody knows, which is crazy to think that some bands are so good everybody knows them.
Or just so famous.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of famous bands that I think are horrid, but people
there's
like
a lot
them.
of famous singers in general that are just not good, or I don't like, that are famous.
Everybody's got something they like, and they found their fans, and
They work in
more
it,
power to you.
I guess, but
I won't hate on them. I just don't listen to them. See how that works?
yeah.
I'm not going to say them by name because I don't need to. You two,
No.
but I don't have to drag their name through them. I just don't listen to it.
Yeah, find your own shtick, I guess. That's what I do always. If I don't like it, I'll just find my own shtick. Me and my brother have very opposite taste of music. We have some that we like, a lot of grunge music. We have our common ground on, a lot of rock, but our country taste and stuff like that completely different from each other,
Yeah.
except for a few songs and stuff like that.
Well, he's barely into country, if you ask me. He knows a few songs, a couple artists,
I
but
like my country though.
I can't blame him. I got that way after I felt country kind of went down the hill.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of stopped listening to new stuff every now and then.
Every now and then we might get lucky, but you have to look for the artists who are good that aren't as popular. Because now with country music, the less popular are the good. Zach Top is popular and he's still good.
Well, that's because they're trying to make it into pop music.
Yeah.
And it's like, so now I don't like the popular ones because this isn't supposed to be popular music. This is country music.
Mm-hmm.
Go do pop music if you want to do pop music. Just go for it.
Don't
Commit
force
yourself to what you want to play.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're not good at it, well, then okay. Then you weren't meant to sing that way.
Exactly.
That's why I couldn't stand bands like Florida Georgia Line and stuff like that.
Oh, no.
It's like,
He
dude,
hates them.
looking like a cheap knockoff Kmart cowboy wannabe rock star. Like, Kid Rock would probably kick you in the face.
Probably.
It's like, just stay in your lane. Not everybody can do that. Kid Rock's one of those few artists that, he did rap, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Then he went a little harder rock, and then he went to country.
He knew. He knew what category to be in at certain times.
But he's like a one in a million talent. Like, there's a reason he's still, got fans and still going, is because he's a once in kind of a generation type talent where he could do that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody in the rock industry or pop music industry is clamoring for people like Florida Georgia Line or any of those kind of artists.
No.
And it goes both ways. I'm sorry, there are no country fans that are going, ooh, can we get a Beyonce album? That's not happening.
Nope.
Because we know it's not genuine. It's not real.
She won the award for that album, and then she did another tour for it, and like none of the shows didn't sell any tickets.
Yeah.
Because it's not a country album. I mean, she's saying country music, but I wouldn't consider it country.
It's when you're a fan and you're listening to your type of music, there's a reason you're listening to it. There's a reason you have favorite artists and favorite songs, is because you feel it right here.
Yeah.
That is what music is supposed to do to you. No matter what kind it is. You like thrash metal? I do. And guess what? I feel that shit right here. Yeah. You know why? Because the person that's singing it means it.
Exactly.
It's genuine. It's emotion that they're getting across to you because it's genuine. So when you hear these artists that just do these crossover albums because of money,
it's always money.
Because if you really enjoyed that type of music, wouldn't have your whole career have shifted to just that?
Yeah.
Instead of, I'm going to go make an extra $50 million if I just cut this country album real quick.
But why?
Well, why? Just stay in your lane.
It ruins your reputation. I mean, look at Randy Travis, such a great country artist. We didn't see him going over to heavy metal.
No.
And singing with Slipknot.
No.
It's like they knew like what they wanted. When you know what you want to sing, you'll stay true to that. I mean, you'll have your own style. Everybody has their own way of singing country music. Nobody should be the same in any way. But the category in which you are singing, like, you don't want to be like blaring electric guitar in all your country songs, like Nirvana. Like, if you play that style guitar in country music, like, it's not gonna sound good.
It's not gonna sound right.
But you have those few that, I mean, obviously all the old country artists knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
We still get lucky now, like Sturgill Simpson. He's really good. I've been listening to him a lot lately. but it's just you could tell who truly wants to be in that genre.
Yeah. And that's all I ask is just stay in your lane,
Or
whether
Chris
you're
Stapleton.
an actor, an athlete. Yeah, I love Chris Stapleton.
He's good. I
He
need another
knows what to
album.
do.
He's
Go out there with my guitar and I'll just sing real quick for you and I'll leave and I'll go home.
was it that one clip where he won his 8th vocalist of the year and Luke Combs was like 8? It's like, oh, he's that good, dude.
Yeah.
He's
I
Chris
mean,
Stapleton.
he's up there with me for vocalists. Like I look at someone like a Randy Travis and a George Strait and an Alan Jackson, where it's like just hearing his voice insinuates so many good emotions usually.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, man, like he's just great to listen to.
I think that's why Zach Top blew up so fast the way he did. It's just because, I mean, he's almost sounds like an Alan Jackson, but it's just like you can tell he's having fun up there. He's really good at playing the guitar, and he sings and he sounds like a country artist, and he's having fun out there. He's singing the music he likes to sing. He's having fun with it. So it makes the audience be like, well, if he's having fun, I'm going to have some fun. But it's really nice to see that. It's also interesting to see the difference in music compared to when you're a kid, teenager, and adult. That's one of the things I've noticed, like listening to music as a kid. You really just listen to a lot of what the people around you play. A teenager's when you really experiment. You really start stepping into every genre almost. That's when I started tipping in everything, seeing what I liked, what I didn't like. Found out what music's good to work out to. That's really where you figure that out. Slipknot, yeah, that definitely works. Any grunge band, Pearl Jam, Audio Slave, Stone Temple Pilots are really good to work out with. If you're angry, Stone Temple Pilots usually helps.
I was just an angrier workout guy. It was always Slipknot, Mudvayne, throwing some Metallica, some Pantera. Got to have Walk.
Korn every now and then.
Korn, yeah, but I mean, there's certain songs like Pantera Walk.
Oh yeah, that song gets you pumped.
That song makes me want to beat the shit out of somebody. Like, there's just something that one does to me, and it's like, yep.
It gets you going.
Now I'm ready to lift.
Oh yeah, I'm ready to lift this weight.
But, yeah, man.
And then an adult is when you really start to calm down. You're like, what makes me chill out?
Slipknot.
I don't listen. I can't say the same for me. I would listen to a lot of country lately.
I literally scared my mother the other day helping her do yard work. She didn't know I was turning my phone on to listen to some music, and I put on Pantera Walk. She, are you mad? I was like, no, I'm just...
Gets me motivated.
I'm burning this wood. She was like, okay, that's an angry song to do it to, but...
Just listen to the lyrics. It's good.
Yeah.
But I've been listening to a lot of that. What I also want to do when we're talking about music is I want to start maybe a new weekly segment when we do these episodes, kind of like a weekly update of what music we're listening to, whether it be the same or if you found a new song, new album throughout the week. I wanted to start that just because we like music so much. I always try to listen to something different every week, whether it's songs I know or different genres. Like last week I was listening to a lot of Three Doors Down, some Fuel, Pearl Jam. I was in my dad rock, I would say, some Creed on the way home from work and everything like that. This week it's been a lot of Sturgill, some old Tyler Chillards, a few more, Cody Links, some of those. But, I was just like, I've heard them before. Let me deep dive into some of these artist songs. It's fun to deep dive, especially at the work I do. I'm able to listen to music sometimes at work, so it's like, well, listen to something new while I'm working.
You might as well.
Twofer.
I mean, I think we can do that. I mean, I still listen to pretty much the same shit all the time, but days differ from my attitude or to what I'm doing.
There you go.
My playlist will change, but I know, like, recently, I know a lot of people have, but I can't get over Disturbed's cover of Sound of Silence. I'll never get tired of hearing it. I don't know. It's just,
It's really nice.
It was a great remake, great rendition. I thought they knocked it out of the park, and I think better than the original by Simon and Garfunkel. Sorry, I think it's better than the OG.
I mean, I think Chris Cornell's cover of Patience better than the other ones.
I was listening. I had played that for my mother. She had never heard that one, and she goes, "Who is singing that? Because that sounds better than Axl Rose."
Yeah, it does.
And I said, "That's Chris Cornell," and she goes, "No way."
Yep.
So yeah, this was right before he passed away. He released it, and that's a great cover. And there again, he completely changed the timing in the song to where it slowed down, and it fit his voice and the way he sings.
That's the
And
thing. If you're going to redo a song especially, find a way to fit it to you. That way you're not forcing yourself into the original. Make it something new.
Yeah, so it's
nice
supposed to be a
hear those.
reimagining, right? Should
Yeah.
not be exactly the same as the original. Otherwise, you're just a cover band at that point.
Yeah. And then I also like to compare, like Three Doors Down, they did a whole acoustic EP.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll have like Let Me Go, Be Somebody. They'll have something they did acoustic that they've already done normal. So I like to hear the difference, and you can kind of tell the tone
I
is
love
different.
acoustic rock.
It's some of
I will pretty much have a man crush on any band
it's amazing.
that is good that can just do acoustic rock songs. I used to irritate them probably slightly because we used to watch on Access TV Guitar Center sessions,
I miss those. Those were
and
nice.
they would have some of the best rock bands in the world on there, but it was nothing but an acoustic setting.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to see Slash with Miles Kennedy and the Rockin' Tours, and that one got one of my favorite songs of all time on there, and we'll talk about that next time on the whole check this song out.
Yes.
But to hear some of the band, like Papa Roach went on there.
Yeah.
To hear Papa Roach doing
It's
an
funny to
acoustic
hear.
set,
Mm-hmm.
but he is such a good singer.
But he's
Much
just
like
screaming.
Corey Taylor from Slipknot. Yeah, they
You just hear him
scream all the
screaming
time,
all
but
the
to
time.
hear them slow down, it's like, whoa, that is a real musician. They just have enough rage built up. They gonna scream it out usually.
That's why I like Bother so much by Stone Sour.
Yes.
Because you hear Corey slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Snuff was when he was Slipknot.
Mm-hmm.
To hear them slow it down. That's why I like all the MTVs so much. Is because we got to see them all slow down and
Yeah.
break down the music. I mean, Nirvana, probably the most known MTV. Pearl Jam, they're Black on MTV. I like that one most out of all the different versions of Black. Just the
Yeah.
way it's slowed down. I mean, obviously, Alice in Chains. That was a certain situation why it was like that. But it's
That
so,
was a sad one.
unfortunately, yeah.
All watching that poor man give out one of his final performances.
Yeah. And
But
they
you
just
can
let 'em
thank
out
Bon
there.
Jovi for Unplugged. You know that?
No.
A little bit of history lesson. MTV Music Awards. Okay, 1993, 4, somewhere in there.
Someone.
Bon Jovi is supposed to perform at the award show. They decide it's just going to be Bon Jovi and Richie Sambora with acoustic guitars doing Wanted Dead or Alive. The response that the
Everybody loved
fans, live audience gave to that was like, oh my God, you guys are actually really fucking talented.
Yeah.
That was phenomenal, and I would pay to watch that again.
Yes.
So MTV went, oh wow, all the viewers really like that. So they went to all those bands and started going, would you like to come in and do an unplugged session, and we'll film it and put it on. So you can thank Bon Jovi for that.
Thank you, Bon Jovi.
Yeah, thank you, John Bon Jovi. That's his real name, by the way. I'm not having a stroke. He's Italian from New Jersey. Bon Jovi is his last name. Changed it to Bon Jovi. Whatever. Google it. Yeah. Godfather of Unplugged is Bon Jovi and that
The last
giant
person.
hair he used to have.
Oh, they got some good songs in it, that's for sure. Bed of Roses, that one's good.
I was a closet Bon Jovi fan when I was young because it was cooler to be, like a fan of Poison or Twisted Sister.
Yeah.
Bon Jovi was so pretty, and all the girls liked him. So if you walked around with a Bon Jovi shirt, homo,
You're like, well,
whatever,
they got good songs.
they sound good. You're
But-
giving love a bad name. It's like, thanks, man.
No, they're good though. It's nice to see like how some small. A lot of times, obviously, not everything starts out immediately when just randomly. Everybody's like, "Well, that was really nice. Let's start MTV Unplugged."
Yeah.
It's really cool to see things just randomly happen in the industry and stuff like that.
And almost revolutionized music because that made everybody take a step back and learn to be
Like, whoa.
better and go, wow, if we break it down,
People love that.
yeah, look how they're reacting to this.
Now everybody does. Like even Fuel did an acoustic version of Hemorrhage.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, you did an acoustic version? Huh, okay.
It's
not
yeah.
bad.
But that was just like with like Papa Roach and a few of those other bands that are pretty much heavy metal, and it's like, you're going to slow that down.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We need Metallica to do an Unplugged. That'd be interesting. I don't know if they could.
They have, it wasn't on Unplugged, but
They didn't.
they've done plenty of their songs set acoustically.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them sound really good, but I just think, it's not for every song. Some songs need to have a heavier hit to it.
Because, I mean, you're slowing down the song. It's
Yeah.
hard to slow down, like, their songs when they're already 4 or 5 minutes long.
Yeah.
So we're not going to make it 10 minutes long because
Yeah.
that's cruel sometimes because then you're just
I mean,
You log
damn,
in.
Freebird's only 7 minutes long.
Yeah,
Jeez.
imagine that one.
God almighty.
18-minute long song. But also wanted to start something also with every episode we do to ask y'all for any music suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
If you agree with what we're saying, if not, if you have any new songs that you've heard that maybe you think we should take a listen to, we can do an episode where we review a bunch of songs.
Yeah.
Kind of let you know if they're a yay or nay.
Yeah.
Good or really bad. We can be honest for y'all. If y'all want us to be really honest, we can be really honest about music since we are both heavily passionate.
I can
in
definitely be honest.
Yes.
That's one of my strong suits.
Oh, yeah. And then the last thing I have for this category is just to throw it out there because I was just jotting down stuff for music. I'm thinking of reteaching myself how to play guitar. It'll be difficult. Got to fit that into my busy schedule. But I have an electric guitar that I was gifted on Christmas a couple years ago. Got busy with wrestling that took over my entire high school life. So I never got the chance to do it, then started working and everything like that. But I thought that I can definitely, if I manage my time properly, which is something you learn as an adult. So
Yeah.
I'm figuring how to fit that into my schedule. I got to get it, some new strings, retuning, and everything like that. And then also thinking of also doing it for the acoustic guitar. It'd just be fun to learn, not just to like show off, but it'd be nice to know a
It
few
just
songs.
sounds so much better.
Just play some. It'd be nice. There's a fire going on a cool night in the summer. Maybe play some guitar
Kumbaya, my lord.
over the fire, or we could just do a bunch of
got
unplugged
attacked by a
sessions in the
grasshopper.
backyard. Who knows? You can do anything you want with a guitar.
Yeah.
Just get to going.
Smash it over your head.
Was there any? Do you have any new ideas for any future episodes?
I mean,
We're open for suggestions.
open for anything. I've got a pretty broad, horizon for bullshit that I can spew out. It's just, what do people want to hear me talk about? What do I want to
Exactly.
talk about? I know what I want to talk about,
Yeah.
but we're like there again. This channel is to help entertain you fine folks out there.
We entertain ourselves all day long talking to each other. We do it with the camera off, so we just want to know what y'all want to talk about. So we just kind of know like how to format it for y'all.
I hope you entertain yourself with the camera off, because if you got the camera on when you're doing that,
That'd be a little.
you're not supposed to record that.
No. Plenty of celebrities learn that the hard way. Yeah, not like that though. But I have one more category. This one will be. This episode is really a personal episode for us. Obviously not super personal because it is the internet, so I won't tell you all my deepest, darkest secrets. But this is kind of our way to show you who we really are. Mm-hmm. This last one is going to be the biggest important part of the video. So if you're not religious in any aspect or any way, this is your forewarning. Although it's not bad what I'm going to talk about. I'm just letting you know so you don't throw any hate, because we don't hate around here.
We're not going to go full on Jehovah's Witness on you here. Just
No, I'm not. Trust me, I'm not a Jehovah's Witness. But I just want to do my last category about God, Jesus Christ and all that, recently, since I am a Christian man. I was saved and everything like that, so I just wanted to kind of talk about my experience and all that, how that happened for me, kind of like a short testimony in a way, and kind of let y'all know that it can happen to anybody. You're never too far gone, is what I thought up until the moment that I was saved. But you do go through a lot of things in life, and I thought growing up there were certain things I had to go through by myself. Obviously that's not true. You have family all around you, everything like that, and you do have a Heavenly Father above you, which is very comforting knowing that, especially since I live by myself. So there's some times when I can't talk to nobody. At least I have that one person who's listening, which it does help at night, especially in the morning too.
Yeah.
But I was in a dark place. Obviously, we all have our dark times. Nobody's perfect. We all go through those hard challenges, and there was that day I was committed. I was like, I'm done fighting all this alone. Surrender my life to Jesus and everything like that, and it is a constant, not battle, but road that you go down.
Mm-hmm.
So if you feel that if you start that journey that you have to complete it in one day, that's not possible. Trust me. It's definitely a journey. You have to break old habits, learn new habits that are good for you, better yourself. And I've noticed that it's definitely helped me a lot. It's encouraged me to do stuff like this. Never in my life. If you asked me in high school, you can ask my dad. I did not like talking in class. Didn't like talking around a lot of people. Would have never put a camera in front of myself and recorded myself for the world to see. But it just feels like I finally get to do something with my heart, and I got the courage to do it. And we both did really. Got to pushing towards
All you
it.
gotta do is put a gun to someone's head, and they do exactly what you need them to do.
There you go.
See, you'll learn.
But it is fun to do all this. I do appreciate a lot of smaller things in my life. I'm more of a simple man than I was in high school. Wanted a lot of different things than I want now. I enjoy a lot of things. I enjoy just when we get a few views on our videos because it's showing that our word is reaching out to somebody. But I found the ultimate hope in the world. So if you feel like there's any challenges or any dark times, you don't have to go through that alone. Although I may not be able to help you because I'm a normal guy. I may not know the answers to everything. There is one, and that is the Heavenly Father. And then the last part about that I have to say is that Jesus can save everyone and anyone if they're welcome to, if they want to welcome that to their heart. So it's up to you if you want to accept my word. I'm not the savior of all men, so don't rely on me to do it. I will let you know that, but I just want to let you know, since we're getting personal, that's how I am in my personal life. So if any of you have any questions about that, we can talk about that as well in the comments. But we're here for anything y'all want to talk about, because eventually we will be one big happy family, and maybe one day we'll do like a big old meet and greet. That'd be cool.
That'd be fun.
Meet the people who like to talk to us about random stuff.
The only other thing I was going to throw out there, I've been talking to my son. May or may not going to try to start doing another podcast on top of this one that will be me basically just talking about pro wrestling. I will be doing recaps from the shows, WWE, AEW, TNA, New Japan if people start getting interested, but just talking about it all the way from the golden era up until now. Talking about Mount Rushmores, talking about favorite championship belts, talking about favorite wrestlers, stuff like that, theme songs, underutilized of all time, guys who should have won belts that never did, guys who never should have won belts but did,
guys who shouldn't have lost the belts when they did. There's a lot. You go over so much.
So I'm going to try to start that off here in the future. Not that we don't have, not that I'm not having fun doing this, is that I have more time to run my mouth than he does at the moment.
I'm busy right now.
And it's kind of like if I don't get it out, my brain won't shut off. So probably going to do that, here in the future. So if you're into wrestling, and I may venture off one episode or two and talk about other things, but
I'm just working a lot right now because we're trying to get y'all a serious setup for the podcast. Trying to get on this little piece of land we got. I'm trying to get out of the apartment life. So I'm trying to save up money so I can get that taken care of here soon. That way we can have a cool room. We can have an actual camera. Not that my phone doesn't work. I appreciate that my phone works. I'm very thankful for that.
Yeah.
But it'd be cool to get us a little background. If y'all ever have any fan art, I always thought that was awesome when like content creators would put fans' art all around the room.
Yeah.
It's appreciation. So we just kind of want to get. It'd be cool to get everything kind of professional. Maybe get that done in the future. But if that's why you see us not doing once or twice a week as much anymore, I just got a new opportunity at a new job, so I've just been working a lot. But we don't forget about y'all. We try to find as much time as we can to do it. So if the episodes are a little bit shorter, it's not because we don't want to do it or we lost passion. We're trying to make sure we get y'all the content we want to put out there.
Yep.
We don't want to put out 10-minute videos of us talking about one movie, because obviously that's too short for a podcast at least.
It's got to be at least 30 minutes a movie.
I would say 45. The shortest we've done is about 40, 45. So we try to get y'all a good amount because obviously a lot of people in my time frame watch a lot of YouTube and stuff. So I like to de-stress after work, watch a nice video. So I know podcasts every now and then I'll watch one. It's nice to just like have the conversation going about something I like. So that's what we're trying to do for y'all.
Yeah.
Like what I keep saying, but any suggestions, more than welcome to. But I think I've run my mouth enough for the day,
I think so.
But
save a little bit of calories for later.
Yeah, although we'll be eating here soon, so I'll be refueling on that. But I hope everybody has a good rest of their morning, their afternoon, their evening, and we'll see y'all for next episode in 31. We'll probably start a new series and talk about some new movies or music, whichever one you wants to go over.
Yeah.
And we're more than welcome to. But other than that, I hope you all have a good rest of one.
Yeah.
Peace.